Netflix and Mappa partnership. I think they had a lot of potential, and I think we are already starting to see the effects of this. Considering that not even a week ago, not even a week later, that the one of the producers say that it's a good thing that we should embrace this change, and I could kind of see his point because the thing about the production community, they are cutthroat. They are not good people at all. They don't have the best interest for a lot of these people because with the production community, they don't really help the anime studio all that well. Like it is crazy how how corrupt that industry is, how corrupt the anime industry is. Like I didn't even know, but apparently there have been so many studios going bankrupt, and that's because the investors they get most of the profit, and apparently they don't is for some reason there's no royalty placed. So no matter how good a anime becomes, the investor just takes it all anyway. So the anime they don't get any of that. And I think that's just that's awful. That's an awful way to go about it. I think that's absolutely terrible. And like the fact that like this has become commonplace in the '90s. I think now that we're in the modern age. I think it's time to change things. Like this, like the '90s, like animation has become more expensive. They have become more complex that you can't just stick with the same system ever since the '90s. I think that is the wrong way to go about it for sure. Because again, like the investors keep all the money. They give animators the bare minimum, plus considering the tight time schedule that some of these animators have. It's like it's a back and forth of you either have not that much money or you barely have any time. Like there rarely occasion where you have a perfect mix of both, where you have good animation, where you have a lot of money to work with, and you have a lot of time to work with. And I think that's definitely what this guy is trying to accomplish. I think where creators can have more time, have more pay, and it's a win-win for both the creators and us, the audience. Because the audience, at the very least, we get a better anime, we get a better production schedule for a good chunk of anime, or at the very least, for Mappa anime, their anime will be more uh, they'll be more efficient. They'll be having a more productive schedule, and they don't have to worry about crunch. They don't have to worry about like a spending limit where you have a powerhouse like Netflix. I think that in itself is a good thing, provided that provided that Netflix doesn't start like hoarding as much anime as possible and just start becoming a monopoly. But besides that part of Netflix being a monopoly, I think this right here is a potentially a good thing, and the fact that like we may see other studios take part in this if the Mappa Netflix studio go well, and I think the Mappa studio will actually go well in the future, and the fact that like we could see studios go to like I don't know Disney Plus, on team up with Disney, Paramount, etc. All these big giant in the world, and I think if you're gonna do something like that, I think I think you're definitely gonna have a lot more to work with, provided to see how this goes. Again, we just have to see how this partnership will go because something's got to give. Because, like, again, there's no way you could do this till the '90s. There's no way you could keep on doing this. You can't do this forever. Obviously, that's just not gonna work. When you have so many cooks in the kitchen, it's just not realistic. Like it's just not a healthy relationship between studios and production and committee because like the fact that we have continuously seen anime studios get bankrupt or close altogether, the fact that we have seen in record time 2018, the fact that 16 had closed in 2018, and the fact that supposedly apparently the fact that in 2025 it hasn't it is on par with 2018. The fact that it is starting to rise, the fact that bankrupt that studios are closing are rising over the years, I think that is genuinely depressing. I genuinely do think so. And the fact that professional they just don't see the point in working anymore, which I can't even blame them because the crunch, the money issues, the stress, it like eventually does build up. And I just really just it's just really sad because like there's no breathing room because like again the production community they don't really have they don't really give you much flexibility to work with, and so I think the animation studios are definitely going to partner with other giants if they go well, because like look at something like One Punch Man. Like this shit is ass. Like this shit was ass back when the season 3 came out, and this is obviously the production community fault and Bandai Namco. And like had a reasonable budget and a reasonable time frame that animators could use, that animators could have more freedom with, One Punch Man season 3 would have been one of the best seasons of the year, no doubt in my mind. But instead we got one of the worst seasons in the year, which is crazy to me because this is One Punch Man we're talking about. But like in a perfect world, uh, se- uh, One Punch Man season 3 core 2, in a perfect world, they will have more budget, they will have more time, and they will look 1,000 times better than than the first half of season 3. But I get the sense that season 3 part 2 won't look significantly better. It'll just be all right. Which I mean, as long as it's not like completely terrible like season 3 is. Like if they do the I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna. But if they do the art that I'm thinking of, like in this quality, I'm gonna be so upset. But regardless, they if we see companies like this actually start to get more flexibility, I think that just overall again better for the industry. But regardless, let me know your thoughts on the potential of all these myriads of studios potentially leaving the committees and actually partnering with someone else so that they could be more flexible. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below.